Hello everyone, I'm Ebony Horton with the Alabama Community College System, and this week is Adult Education and Family Literacy Week all over the country. Adult education has so many different facets to it, so whether you're tuning in today because you're interested in being part of an adult education program, or if you just want more information about what we're doing in the state, you are at the right place. Today we have with us Mr. David Walters, State Director of Adult Education, and he is just a wealth of knowledge of everything that's going on throughout the state. So we have just a few questions. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Ebony, for having me.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. So adult education, a lot of times I guess the first thing that comes to mind is GED, but it's so much more than that, right?
It is so much more than that. And really, the way we look at it, it's lifelong learning. So what we want to do is help individuals that have dropped out of high school to get back into a program that can help them actually attain a high school equivalency, which may be a GED, or we have a high school diploma option program now, which is very exciting. So we can actually help students build credits to get an actual high school diploma if they qualify. So we're excited about that. Plus we have integrated education and training opportunities where we can get students into a career pathway and get them into some skill training that can lead to gainful, sustainable employment.
Tell me a little bit about the convenience of adult education.
Absolutely, that's a great point. Many of our adults are working, so they can't stop what they're doing to come into a daytime program. So many of our programs offer evening classes. They also offer Saturday classes as well. And then through distance education, it's actually learn when you can, when you get an opportunity. So we have really ramped up what we've done with distance education, and we feel really good about that. We've also applied distance ed to our Ready to Work program within a flexible schedule, if you will. Okay.
Great. And I understand that adult education sometimes is so much bigger than the adult. You're talking the children within the home who have a better opportunity to succeed when their parents are educated, as well as that overall quality of life when you have the opportunity to get a better job. So how do you kind of trump those misconceptions where people think that this is just something to do versus something that can really change their life?
Has a major effect. We have programs such as family literacy that can really help the adult and the parent grow together, where the parent really learns the skills and abilities to help their child be successful in school. And we do it through a myriad of partnerships out there. We have some great partners with the Department of Commerce and the Career Centers. We also work with the Department of Human Resources, and we help individuals that may be receiving TANF, may be receiving SNAP. We can get them into education and training programs. So we have, again, a lot of partners out there to help us really do what we do in the field of adult ed and fulfill our mission. If you want to come through adult ed, we can get you into other skill training programs, and it's probably not going to cost you anything other than the cost of time and effort. It takes time and effort to dedicate yourself to what we do in adult ed. And we can simultaneously have someone enrolled in adult ed and also enrolled in our community college. We can do it where it's a co-enrollment opportunity, where you're co-enrolled in adult ed at the same time you're also in a technical or skills training program, and we're helping you with the academics that will make you successful in that program that supplements the technical skills that you're learning.
So tell me, why is adult education so important?
Well, from a national perspective, if you look at it, Ebony, we have a great challenge in the United States. We have 43 million adults that are at low literacy levels. It's really impacting their ability to be successful. And we also know that low-skilled adults are twice more likely to be unemployed, 3 times more likely to live in poverty, 4 times more likely to be in poor health, and 8 times more likely to be incarcerated. Just some phenomenal numbers that we want to correct in adult ed. We feel like adult education is the key to really change that, so we can get people back on track, back into a focused career pathway that can lead to sustainable employment. And adult education can be the foundation to get all of that started. We are really focused on helping the business and industry in the state to get a skilled, qualified worker. We want to make sure that we're doing our part to eradicate those skill deficiencies in a way that we can get people into the workforce with skills where they can really make sustainable wages. And we've got some great success stories. Just earlier today, I was given some information on multiple students that came through the program that are in the field. One is in the field of welding that is actually making about $125,000 a year. I mean, think about that. I mean, they're making really great wages, and this is not a 4-year degree. It's not a 2-year degree. It's not really even, in some cases, a credit-bearing course. It's non-credit.
David just gave us tons of information about adult education in the state, and if you want to know more, you can always visit your local community college or go to accs.edu. And even though we just received tons of information, there is nothing like a real-life success story. So in just a little while, we'll have one of those stories from Trenton State. But before then, we want to show you a video of a Gaston State alum who actually works now as a teacher, who got her high school diploma option through the adult education program.
I was out to graduate at Sardis High School in 2004. 2 weeks before we graduated, we found out if we passed the graduation exam, and I didn't pass. I failed the science and the social studies, so I didn't get a diploma. I got a certificate of attendance, and so I just got to walk across the stage. I went and took the GED and failed it by 1 point. That kind of was a stopping point, so it was harder for me to kind of branch out and do anything else, like go to college or, jump in and take this job and come out of my comfort zone. The principal here, Christy Towns, she asked me if I wanted to be a substitute, and I said no, because nobody knew that I didn't have a diploma, and I didn't want to tell anybody. So she came a little bit later and approached me again and asked me. I told her the situation. Well, we found out that at the Helen Keller Center in the summer, they were giving the graduation exam to people like me. So I went. I would go to Gadsden State at night after work for about a month, and then I took the test and wound up passing and getting a diploma. I sat in the chair and I just fell over and I just cried. I wound up calling Sardis High School, and the principal met me outside and handed me the diploma herself, and we got our picture made, and I had it sitting on the counter for weeks, and that gave me a lot of confidence to progress in anything else. And then I wound up getting this job here, and I'm now going to college and trying to get my teaching degree. Before I had that in the back of my mind, like you carry that with you, like a part of you, and now that's not a part of me anymore.
Today I have with me Mr. Andrew Selmar. He's a Trenton State Community College student. It took Mr. Selmar 10 years to finally finish his GED, but when he did, he just used it as a launch pad to continue his success. So thank you so much for being with us today to tell your story.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Andrew, tell us a little bit about how you ventured into getting your GED. What started that journey in the first place?
Well, in 2008, I dropped out of junior high school in the 8th grade. I was having to repeat the 9th grade. At that time for me, it was not anything that I was interested in doing. It was either get a GED or just drop out. At that time, dropout was my choice. But my mom was persistent in saying that I needed to get a GED. It was very important to get my education. So I began to, journey on there over the course of 10 years. I wasn't able to complete it right off the bat due to me taking the test and then passing everything except math, scoring a score of 400 when I needed 410 to pass. So after the third time of taking the test, I got a bit discouraged and just walked away from it.
Okay, and then you decided finally to pick back up, and eventually you passed. How did Trenton State assist you in that journey?
Well, Trenton State has been very hands-on with me, especially the GED education department with Ms. Andrew Tony, at that time Mrs. Bell as well. I have been working with them for quite some time. So what they would do is they would assist me in setting up different classes for me, making sure that I was able to get the material that I needed. They knew that I was already so far behind that I needed to catch back up and refresh the material that I had already studied. So Mrs. Bell would actually work hand in hand with me to assist me And with Trenum, not only was I able to get my GED, but I was able to receive it for free. Graduating from Trenum with my GED actually changed a lot of things. I began to become a work study student, and then I became the president of the Trenum State Collegiate Chorale Choir at Trenum. And then that actually led me into meeting someone at my school, and now I work with counsel on substance abuse due to Trenum. So if it wasn't for Trenum, the career path that I'm in right now would not be lined up as so.
Awesome. And we talked a little bit beforehand just about, I guess, the stigma around GED or around the time it takes to get that experience. How do you kind of silence those voices when you're determined to be successful?
I think the best thing to do is to just start separating yourself from all of those nouns, those people, places, and things that will discourage you and keep you from doing those things that you need to do. A lot of times we are held back because of the people that we are connected to. They don't often see the things that we could be, or see the things that we want to do. And just placing yourself around those people that will motivate you and encourage you, that's what really helped me, especially in my transition from, over that 10-year period, having people saying, hey man, you're really smart, you're really intelligent, I don't know why you don't have a GED, you should go back and get your GED. That's what really assisted me the most. It takes discipline. Once you discipline yourself to do those things that you want to do for yourself, for your family, you'll be able to achieve those things a lot faster. Motivation, those family should motivate you. Your life goals should motivate you. Where you are right now should motivate you to be somewhere greater than where you are right now. So I would definitely say it all starts for me at discipline.
Well, again, we are so thankful for you being here with us and sharing your story. We encourage anybody who is considering a GED or any form of education beyond where you are now to really think about your local Alabama Community College, not because of the benefit that it would bring for us to have you as a student, but for the benefit that it can truly bring for you as you consider that next best step in life. Thank you so much for tuning in, and if you have any questions, visit accs.edu or connect with your local community college.